Hey tchotchkes, welcome back to another episode of the Cha Cha Beat. Today I want to talk about why. Like, why do we do the things we do? And as I was thinking about this, I couldn't help but think about like a little kid that picture like a 4-year-old that is just all they do all day is ask like this same question, but why? But why? But why? Like, over and over again, they just wanna know why things are the way they are, why we are doing what we're doing. And to answer, like, a 4-year-old's questions is pretty easy, but it gets a lot harder to answer the question when you are an adult that is trying or thinking about taking, like, a giant risk in creativity or in livelihood. But why? Why am I doing this? Why do we do the things we do? Why do we feel compelled to write that song or play that music or write that book or move to that city or marry that person? Why? And for me, I'm thinking of a very specific example. If you have watched at least one episode of the Cha Cha Beat, well, if you've watched at least one episode of like not the first couple episodes, because it took me a little took me a couple episodes to kind of start to feel my groove to the point where I got confident enough to mention the fact that I am writing a book, a memoir called Let Me Out, I'm Stuck. And part of why it's taken me so long to get into the groove to the point to mention it out loud, to proclaim it onto the universe, out onto the internet that this is happening, that I'm doing this is because every time I would say I'm writing a book, there would be this voice in the back of my head being like, but why? But why? But why? And definitely one of the answers is because if I don't do this, if I don't try, if I don't take this risk, I am so terrified of the regret and the shame and resentment that I'm going to feel towards myself in 20 years or 30 years or towards the end of my life. Like, if I do not do this now, I honestly think that I'm going to live the rest of my days just regretting and I don't want to say hating myself because that seems like really harsh, but maybe hating myself a little bit because I knew that I was too much of a chicken to take this risk. And so, why am I doing this? Because I don't want to regret later that I didn't do it. And if that is not enough of a reason, I mean that is a pretty good reason, but it is a very like internal me facing reason of why I'm doing this. And I think that for a long time, that just also wasn't enough. Like, yes, I would regret it, but like maybe it's okay because it would be just a total like indulging of my ego, like to write this book. To spoiler alert, it's a memoir, so it's about me. I, for so long, didn't want to actually, like, commit to the concept that I was just gonna, like, focus on me, focus on my story. Like, how can that actually be helping anyone? How can I be paying it forward? How can I be of service if all I'm doing is talking about me and writing my story and nobody cares? And what's the point? And but why? And it's only been recently, in the past, like, year or so, I got laid off from my last corporate job at the end of 2024, and I found myself at a crossroads of, if I don't do this now, if I don't commit to writing this book now and making it my top priority in terms of professional goals, not applying for other corporate jobs, not being on LinkedIn, not networking to get the next marketing position, but just going all in on my own idea, my own creative spark, and seeing where it leads. If I don't do it now, it's not going to happen. I've got to give it up. I can't keep torturing myself at the end of a long corporate workday, being mad at myself because I'd rather sit on the couch watching The Real Housewives than get into my own creative aspirations, because I'm tired and I just gave all my creativity to the man and I'm spent. So getting another job meant it's done. I'm going to officially walk away from this dream that I have, because I couldn't think of another reason to do it other than I would regret it. But maybe it just seemed all so selfish and self-serving, and I never wanted to commit to it because it was just so requiring me to, like, go into myself and really challenge myself. And in order to do that, I would have to not necessarily be of service to the man or whatever other jobs were out there. I would have to go inward for a while. And it just seemed like that is not what I should be doing. And when I got laid off from my last job and was at this crossroads and felt like I should give it up, but at the same time, there was just something in me that, like, couldn't give it up. I really had to do a lot of thinking of, like, why? Why am I doing this? Why do I feel so compelled to write this story? Why do I feel so compelled to start a podcast when I am freaking terrified to be talking on this camera? I am terrified of not knowing what to say, not having anything to say, not providing enough value. I'm terrified of wasting my time, of wasting your time. Like, why? Why do I feel so compelled? I can't think of a better word than compelled right now. I don't really want to keep saying it over and over again, but I'm not gonna, like, Google a thesaurus right now, tchotchkes, so just bear with me. Compelled, I just feel drawn to writing this book. And, like, I don't know how else to describe the fact that, like, I don't know why. And as I really thought about it and started to accept the concept that maybe, just maybe, my putting myself out there, putting myself out here, maybe me taking this leap of faith, maybe me being brave enough to put my story and my emerging writing talent out into the world can inspire others to do the same. But also, like, the content of my story, a lot of Let Me Out, I'm Stuck is talking about the fact that for most of my life, if not all of my life, I have felt exceedingly lonely. I haven't had a group of friends, let alone a best friend. I didn't have like a high school or, a young love boyfriend that we kind of faced or embarked on the world together. Like, I really was just alone. My family did not really like, I have a very close and healthy, like, nuclear family, but they are also quite stuck in their ways and a little judgmental. And to say that I am the black sheep of the family is like the understatement of the year. My entire family lives on the East Coast doing their East Coast thing. I'm the only one that has managed to venture out to the West Coast to travel beyond to the next frontier. My grandparents, my mom's parents, actually lived in, I guess it was like Mill Valley, north of San Francisco, for a minute. They lived out there, but my grandma said, I don't want to be so far away from my mom in New York. I want to go back." And they went back. And then the next generation, my aunt on my mom's side, she lived in Seattle for a couple years. And she decided, "You know what? I don't like being so far away. I want to go back." And she went back. And then the next generation, my older sister lived out in LA for a couple years. And she said, "I don't like it out here. I don't want to be so far away. I want to go back." And she went back. And I am the first one to say, I want adventure. I don't want to do what's already been done. I don't want to go back. I've seen what going back is, and it's all just the same over and over again, living the same life. And yes, they're evolving because, technology and society and culture, it's all evolved. They're not like stuck in the 1920s mentality, but they are, in a way, just trying to repeat each other's lives, and I never wanted to do that. I always just wanted to do something different. So, I moved to California, fell in love with a local Californian from Southern California, San Diego, and this is where I am. I mean, maybe we won't be here forever. Maybe we'll continue on in our adventure, but I'm not going back. And so I know from personal experience how hard it can be to be the only one around you who thinks differently, who sees things differently, who aspires for something different. And that can be a really lonely place to be. And so I'm writing this book, yes, for me, because I don't want to regret not writing it, not trying, not trusting my intuition, my creativity, my ideas, my gut. But also, I'm writing this book for you, tchotchkes, because I don't want you to feel as lonely as I had to feel. And maybe if I can write this book and put it out there and you can read the story, it can bring you a little bit of encouragement or camaraderie or just motivation to keep going and not give in to what everyone is telling you you should do or you should be. So I've made a lot of progress in, okay, this is why I'm writing this book. I'm writing this book because I don't want to regret not taking this chance. I'm writing this book because I truly believe that by writing it, I can help others feel less lonely and maybe a little bit more brave. And maybe I can like entertain you along the way. Maybe you'll actually enjoy reading it. But there is still this huge obstacle of actually committing to doing it. Like, okay, I know why I'm going to do it now, but like actually saying, this is it. I'm not getting another job. I am going to let myself embarrass myself on the internet by being a total beginner at this podcast thing, by not being very good. I I don't know why tchotchkes, but on, like, almost all of my videos, the, like, actual video recording cuts out for a little while. The voiceover, the audio is still there, which is why I'm just, like, letting it go for now, and I'll figure it out as I go along, but I don't know why that's happening. I don't know why the video cuts out. This is hard. It's not fun to be a beginner. It's not fun to look like less than on the internet. If you watch other YouTube videos, they all seem so advanced in their editing skills and their production, and I am not that. I'm just speaking from the heart, from the gut right now. I'm not rehearsing what I have to say. I'm not writing scripts because I don't want to be fake. I don't want to be on here like acting. I don't want to be anything other than completely authentic in the moment going through this process. And it is quite challenging to really just lean in and admit to myself that even now, I just there's at least once a day I go like, "But why? But why? Why are you doing this? This is silly. Give it up. Nobody cares." From what I understand of just reading from what other authors have to say about the life of being a writer, that voice never goes away. Like, you're always thinking, "What's the point? Nobody cares. This sucks. I've got nothing." Like, that's just gonna be, like, a constant struggle. Like, this is what it is to be a writer, is, like, every other day to, like, question your decision to be a writer. But this is my decision. I am fully committed to you at this point, tchotchkes. There's no going back now. There's nothing else I would rather be doing because trust me, I have thought long and hard about what else could I do because this is quite a risk what I'm doing. And I think that as long as I was allowing myself to question, but why? But why? But why? As long as I was entertaining that voice in my head, it was not fully committed to moving forward and like single focus goal of working on this podcast, producing this podcast, writing Let Me Out, I'm Stuck, producing beat by beat, chapter by chapter, telling my story, connecting with all of you, one tchotchke at a time, as long as I was questioning whether or not this is what I really want. Is this really worth it? Is this going to work out? Is this too much of a risk? Am I just kidding myself? As long as I was entertaining those questions, I was never going to really break through. I was never going to find the answers that I was looking for. And so, tchotchkes, from right now, from this point on, there's no more questioning of, but why? But why? No more. I'm doing this because this is my purpose. This is my purpose, whether it's because I decided that it was out of free will. Maybe it's my purpose because it is my God given destiny written in the stars to write Let Me Out, I'm Stuck, and share my story and help others feel a little less lonely in their lives and give them a little bit more confidence to trust their instincts, trust their dreams and desires and goals, and to take a risk. Because if you don't take risks, nothing is ever gonna happen. If I don't do this now, I'm gonna wake up one day and regret that I didn't. And so I don't wanna live a life of regret. I don't wanna live a life of I didn't know why I was doing something, I didn't know what was gonna happen, it wasn't guaranteed, so I just didn't try. I don't wanna live like that. I want to make it happen because I did try. And so, tchotchkes, the reason we are here is because we're all just trying together because life is hard, life is confusing, life has a shit ton of options that are coming at you, and you are the only one who can decide what you want to do, what's right for you, who is right for you, where is right for you. You're the only one that gets to make those decisions. And those are some lofty decisions. And you're never going to find happiness. You're never going to be content with your life unless you make a decision and just move forward with full confidence that that is the right decision. No matter what anyone else tells you is possible, no matter what anyone else tells you you should be doing instead, as long as you have full conviction in what you have chosen, it can't be wrong. And with that, tchotchkes, that's all we have time for today. If you are curious and would like to know more about my book, Let Me Out, I'm Stuck, please visit my website at chachchabeat.com. That's where you're going to find all of the beats, the excerpts that I've written thus far from my book. You do not need to read them in order. Every beat is a story, a beginning, a middle, an end, a meaning, a purpose, a heart, a soul, a story unto itself. So just pick one, start reading, pick two, pick three, and I'm pretty sure, tchotchkes, after you've read like 3 beats, you're going to be hooked. You're going to love the story. You're going to want to know more. You're going to connect to the journey that we are all on in this crazy thing called life. So please, I encourage you, head over to chachchabeat.com, read a couple beats from the book, subscribe to my website, subscribe to this channel right here, like this video. Have you liked this video yet? If you've made it to this point in the video, you like it. I hate to tell you this, tchotchkes, but if you've made it this far, you like this video because there is no other reason. Like, I'm not dispersing any kind of like knowledge or intel here that you would want to take in if you weren't actually enjoying watching this video. So please like this video, let the algorithm know that the Cha-Cha Beat is worth sticking around for. And until next time, keep calm and cha-cha on.
Cha cha cha.